Welcome to Cambridge English Language Institute. This is Ansar Ahmad. In today's video, I'm going to talk about Khyber Medical University MDCAT 2024 पेपर नंबर 1 के आंसर आपके साथ शेयर करने वाला हूं। तो पहला स्टार्ट करते हैं। हमारे पास जो बायोलॉजी पोर्शन है इनमें से 68 एमसीक्यूज हैं। तो इनमें से जो पहला एमसीक्यूज है वो है जेनेटिक कोड ऑफ इज फाउंड बाय अ लिपिड मेम्ब्रेन। तो इनमें से आपके पास ऑप्शन आता है फ्लू वायरस, ऑप्शन बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है वायरस के नॉट डैश, तो आपके पास ऑप्शन है ऑप्शन बी यानी एक्सक्रीट करता है। नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है वेयर आर द एंजाइम रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द रिप्लिकेशन ऑफ एचआईवी वायरस लोकेटेड। सो ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर, इनसाइड द कैप्सिड जो है ना आंसर है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 है द प्रोसेस ऑफ एटीपी सिंथेसिस थ्रू अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोकेमिकल एंड ऑस्मोटिक इवेंट इज नोन एज oxidative phosphorylation. Option C is the correct answer. Optimum pH for pancreatic lipase is what? 8. ये basically 7.5 to 8.5 है, यहाँ पे correct answer है 8. Next हमारे पास है sugar cane यानी contains, तो हमारे पास है sucrose, यानी यह option D is the correct answer. Next sickle cell anemia result from dash, तो हमारे पास है single amino acid substitutions and the hemoglobin molecule. Question number 8. Which is incorrect about the globular proteins? Option A abundantly found in here. Question number 9. What is the ester of fatty acid and long chain alcohol called? हमारे पास है Vicks, option number D. Next, lipids which do not contain fatty acids are steroid, option number C. The peptoglycan silval is specific to bacteria. Question number 12. Where are spinal fibers attached on a chromosome during cell division? Centromere, option A. Which organelle contribute towards steroid production? Endoplasmic reticulum, option A. The lysosome found in eukaryotes contain hydrolytic enzyme, option A. Plasma membrane is differentially permeable membrane due to the presence of what? Lipids, option B. The following function activity is not controlled by the autonomic nervous system. So option number D, thoughts and emotions. A motor neuron is carries impulse from CNS to muscles, option number C. Diffusion across the postsynaptic membrane causes is to depolarize sodium ions, option D. A reflex action does not involve dash the brain. What happens to the enzyme after an enzyme catalyzed reactions used for another reaction? Catalyze can be activated at pH 7, option number D. Enzymatic activity can be inhibited by heavy metals ion. A competitive inhibitor is dash, हमारे पास क्या होता है, is reversible. Wings of birds and that of flying lizard provides evidence of what? Convergent evolutions. The embryological stages of show similarity and anatomical features. All vertebrates. Which enzyme is secreted in active form? Amylase. Next, which hormone stimulate the secretion of gastric juice? Gastrin. Option number B. An inflammatory response. Bradykinin causes dash leakage of fluid from blood vessels. Question number 29. Which of the following is an example of passive immunity? So antibodies from mother's milk. Bacteria that lack flagella are called what? Atrichus. Next, antibiotic can be used against Salmonella type E, option D. The N semen facilitate the transport of sperm. So हमारे पास है prostaglandins, option number B. The acidity of urine is neutralized by what? Copper's gland. The corpus luteum is essentially formed from Graafian follicles. The outer layer of uterus is called perimetrium. Is spread through sexual contact, gonorrhea. The cells contained in the lichene of bones are called what? Osteocytes. The surrounds the muscles fiber of the skeletal muscle is what? Sarcoplasm. What happens to calcium when skeletal muscle recover from contraction? So pumped into the sarcoplasmic reticulum. Which of the following blood groups has anti-A and anti-B antibodies in the serum? So हमारे पास है O blood group. Next, what is the primary outcome of crossing over during prophase of meiosis? Option number B. Homologous chromosomes exchange during pairs leading to recombinant chromatids and increased genetic variation. The genetic makeup that your parents have transferred to you for your hair colors make up dash genotype. Carnivorous plants have evolved mechanism for trapping and digesting small animals. The product of this digestion is used to supplement the body's supply of dash what? Nitrates. Which is true for an X-linked dominant trait. हमारे पास क्या, all female offspring of the affected father will be affected. Next हमारे पास है malphizian tubules are found in dash grasshopper. Next we have shark belongs to class Quadranthes. Next हमारे पास canal system is the characteristics of what? Porepra. नेक्स्ट हमारे पास है mental is the feature of what? Mu cells. The production of energy is faster than anaerobic respiration. The pathway to the breakdown of glucose carried by microorganism is called lactic acid fermentation as well as that alcoholic fermentation. A, B both are correct. Chromosome is typically made of from a combination of what? DNA and protein. Which cytoplasmic organism make their own proteins? हमारे पास है mitochondria. Next, the active mass movement of mitochondria and the cytoplasm is due to cyclosis. Cyclosis actually कार्ड के अंदर movement of cytoplasm होता है. Which part of the brain is controlling your sense of balance? Cerebellum. That is called cerebellum है. Next हमारे पास है the neurotransmitter is hydrolyzed by monoamine यानी oxidase. So ये है adrenaline. Next हमारे पास most of the neurons and the CNS are multipolar. The enzyme enables the conversion of substrate into products by dash, lowering the activation energy. According to Lamarckism, the basis of evolution is dash, inheritance of acquired characteristics. What best describes the hind leg यानी leg bones seen in the whale? हमारे पास a vestigial structure that had a function and ancestor, which is true about the cells found and gastric glands lining the stomach wall. तो हमारे पास है mucous cells secrete mucin. Next, what directly triggers the activation of natural killer cells? तो हमारे पास interferon. Which of the following is not true about plasmid found in a streptococci? तो हमारे पास है the bacterial chromosome depends on plasmid for replication. Which of the following bacteria produces endospores? So हमारे पास है gram positive. Next हमारे पास है is used in the production of hemoglobin. हमारे पास है bacteria. Which of the following does not relate to smooth muscles? तो हमारे पास है line the wall of heart. Which term best describe an organism physical characteristics trait? What will happen with the addition of salt to water? तो हमारे पास क्या है osmotic potential will increase. Next हमारे पास है which of the following is not true about the viruses? So can replicate on their own. Next हमारे पास है how many moles are there? Chemistry. अब chemistry का जो है ना पोर्शन स्टार्ट हुआ है that is called 54. तो chemistry में पहला क्वेश्चन है how many moles are there in 60 gram of sodium hydroxide? So option number A यानी 2. Next heating 24.8 gram of copper carbonate in a crucible produce only 13.9 gram of copper oxide. What is the percentage yield of copper oxide? तो ये है हमारे पास 86.87%. Efficiency of chemical reaction can be checked by calculating what? Percentage yield. Actual yield will reach the ideal value if the yield of the reaction is 100%. Which of the following subshell does not exist? So 1p. Next हमारे पास है the splitting of spectral lines and magnetic field is. ये है Zeeman effect. Next हमारे पास which element has the electronic configuration of noble gases notation? 5s2 4d2. तो हमारे पास है Zr. Next one, the total number of electron pairs present in the valence shell of central atom and water are 4. Next, what is the mass of 1 mole of calcium carbonate? So ये है 100 gram. Which one of the following molecules has a pyramidal structure? So हमारे पास क्या है NH3 ammonia. Which one of the following molecules has a zero dipole moments? So BF3. Next हमारे पास है the unhybridized p orbital and sp2 hybridization is dash perpendicular to sp2 orbitals. Next 760 torr is equal to Pascal. So हमारे पास है 101325. How many grams of carbon dioxide can be produced by thermally decomposing 10 moles of zinc CO3? तो हमारे पास है 440. Molar heat of vaporization of water is. So ये क्वेश्चन जो है अभी तक आंसर नहीं दिया है, तो इसको बाद में आपको आंसर बताऊंगा. Next, distillation under very reduced pressure is distillation. तो ये हमारे पास है vacuum. The example of metallic solid is Cu copper. When a crystalline substance conducts currents in one direction but not through other direction of the crystal, this property is called what? Anisotropy. Next हमारे पास है forward reaction is one that take place from left to right as given in chemical equation. How many moles of sodium chloride are produced from 16.5 gram of HCl according to the neutralization reaction? हमारे पास है 0.452. Next हमारे पास है in the production of SO2 and SO2, the oxygen, the yield of SO3 is increased by dash, adding more SO2. Next, हमारे पास consider N2 plus 3H2 NH3 and next we have delta minus 92.64 kilojoule per mole. The optimum temperature to produce ammonia is what? 450. Next हमारे पास the unit of Kc for the system PCl 5 is equal to PCl 3 plus chloride is a mole per decimeter cube. ये हमारे पास है मोल पर decimeter cube है. Option B. For a first order reaction A dash B the rate constant is 0.058 per second. Calculate the rate of reaction F. The concentration of reactant is 0.35 mole per decimeter. हमारे पास आता है 0.016 mole per decimeter per second. A reaction is first order with respect to A and second order with respect to B. The equation is dash. So rate K is equal to A plus B square. Next, what mass of aluminum oxide is produced from 18.5 gram of all metals when it reacts completely with oxygen gas according to the following equations. तो ये हमारे पास आते हैं 34.9 ग्राम. Calculate the work done when 1 mole of an ideal gas expand from 15 decimeter to 20 decimeter against the constant external pressure of 2 atmosphere. हमारे पास आता है -10 atm dm3. Next, when 1 mole of ice melts at 0 degree and constant pressure of 1 atmosphere, 60-25 joule of heat is absorbed by the system. The molar volume of ice and water are 0.020 and 0.018 decimeter respectively. Calculate delta E. तो हमारे पास आता है 60-25.20 joule. One slice of bread with a tablespoons of peanut butter on its contain 20 gram carbohydrates, 10 gram protein and 9 gram fat. Calculate total energy consumed and this intake. हमारे पास आए थे 201 calories. Next, delta H can be measured indirectly by applying what? His law. The heat of sublimation of potassium is 98 kilojoule per mole. The heat of dissociation of bromine gas is 192.5 kilojoule per mole. The ionization energy of K is 414 kilojoule per mole. The electron affinity of Br is -334.7 kilojoule per mole. And the heat of formation of KBr is -405.8 kilojoule. Calculate the latest energy of KBr. तो ये आता है हमारे पास -679. Next हमारे पास है which one of the following is a strong electrolyte and solution. हमारे पास है potassium iodide. Next हमारे पास when 4 gram of magnesium was heated and excess of oxygen, calculate the theoretical yield of magnesium oxide. हमारे पास आता है 6.6 gram. The electrolyte potential of the standard hydrogen electrolyte is chosen is 0 volt. Next हमारा electronegativity of aluminium is approximately equal to that of Be. Next one हमारे पास है which of the following alkali metal form only normal oxide with O2, lithium. Next हमारे पास है third period element that initially react rapidly with oxygen to form protective oxide coating that prevents further reaction is aluminium, option A. Copper salt solution is blue and color due to the transition of electrons from what? D to D orbital. Next हमारे पास है potassium percyanide is which type of salt? Complex. Name of ketone functional group is what? Carbonyl. ये हमारे पास क्या है? Carbonyl है. Next हमारे पास है pyridine belongs to which class of organic compound? हमारे पास है heterocyclic. Next, which of the following elements cannot be detected directly in a given organic compound? Oxygen. The homolytic fission of carbon and hydrogen bond in alkane result as what? Alkyl free radical. Addition of HBr to isobutylene mainly gives that what? Third, butyl bromide. Dehalogenations, dehydrohalogenation of alkali, that we can say that alkali halide is carried out in presence of what? Alcoholic KOH. Next हमारे पास है PKB of N profile amine is what? ये है 3.32. The carbon atom carrying positive charge and attached to three other atoms are group is called what? Carbocation. Which of the following has the highest boiling point? तो है N profile alcohol. The reaction of an alcohol with sodium produces alkali oxide. Next, oxidation of secondary alcohol gives dash. तो हमारे पास option C, that is called ketone. Which aldehyde is more reactive towards the nucleophilic addition? हमारे पास है formaldehyde. Next, acetic acid can be prepared by the hydrolysis of dash. Methyl cyanide. Protein present in hemoglobin has structure quaternary and competitive inhibition. The inhibitor is what? Competes with the substrate. Now come toward physics. A car is moving in a circular path at a constant speed. What provides the necessary centrifugal force to keep the car moving in this path? So option number D, the friction between the tires and the road. Next हमारे पास है which of the following facts correctly matches a physical quantity with its SI unit? हमारे पास है power plus watt. Next is the natural tendency of an object to remain at rest or in motion with constant velocity, inertia. A car in motion hits and gets crushed into a tree truck. What is not conserved? Kinetic energy alone. The vertical and horizontal component of the projectile motions are independent of each other. A ball is kicked horizontally from the top of 10-meter high cliff with an initial speed of 15 meters per second. After 2 seconds, which of the following statement describes the ball's horizontal and vertical components? The horizontal velocity is 15 meters per second, while vertical velocity is 20 meters per second downwards. Next, हमारे पास है how does an angle between the force applied and the direction of motion influence the work done on object? So work is maximum when the angle is 0. Next, हमारे पास a nurse is pushing a wheelchair with an 80 kg patient sitting on it. How much work is done by the patient's weight? तो हमारे पास है no work. If a constant force of 10 Newton is applied to move an object 5 meters in the direction of force, what is the work done? So we have 50 joule. The escape velocity of a body and the gravitational field of earth is depend on dash mass of earth. Next, हमारे पास है a whale makes 3 complete revolutions. What is the total number of radians through which a point on wheel has rotated? 6 lambda. For rigid body that rotates about a fixed axis, the angle swept out by line passing through any point on the body and increasing the axis of rotation perpendicularly is called what? Angular displacement. And a rotating spaceship to produce artificially gravity, what does the centrifugal force do? So हमारे पास pushes the object toward the outer wall. When the mass of a body moving along a circle becomes half and radius becomes double and V is constant, the centrifugal force becomes what? That is called 1/4. What happens when two waves of the same frequency and amplitude meet and a phase? हमारे पास है they combine to form a wave double the amplitude resulting in constructive interference. Next, हमारे पास है which type of waves can be polarized? हमारे पास है transverse waves. For longitudinal waves, the particles of the medium oscillate along the direction of the waves propagations according to the principle of superimposition. When two or more waves overlap at a point in a space, the amplitude of the resultant wave at that point is हमारे पास है the sum of the amplitude of the individual waves. The speed of a sound in a medium containing ideal gas is not dependent on dash pressure. A turning fork having angular frequency equal 440 Hz produces sound waves which travel with a speed of 340 meters per second. What is the separation between compressions and the adjacent refraction of the sound waves? तो इसका आंसर जो है अभी तक नहीं given है. A police car with its siren on is moving towards a stationary listener. How does the stationary listener receive the frequency of the sound emitted by the siren? It increases. In a diabatic process, how does the temperature of a gas change? Its volume decreases. The temperature increases. Question number 145. During isothermal expansion of an ideal gas is what? Which of the following statement is true? So the temperature of the gas remain constant. Next, consider an ideal gas conformed to the cylinder with a fixed piston. On heating the gas, all the heat supplied increases kinetic energy of the molecules. Next, हमारे पास है what is the increase and force between two charges if the separation between them is decreased by 50% becomes 4 times. According to Coulomb's law, what happens to the electrostatic force between the 2 point charges if the distance between them is doubled? The force becomes 1/4. What does 1 coulomb represent in terms of charge? The amount of charge transported by a current of 1 ampere and 1 second. The 2 points charge यानी 5 plus and 5 minus are placed at point A and point B respectively, which are separated by the distance 2d. What is the electric potential at the midpoint M of the line joining A and B? हमारे पास 0 आते हैं. In case of parallel plate capacitor, when the distance between the two plates is reduced to half and the area of the plate double, the capacitance is what? Increased 4 times. If the dielectric material between the plates of capacitor is removed, what happens to the electric field between the plates? So हमारे पास है the electric field increases. Capacitance of capacitor increases with decrease and dash plate separation. And the IV graph for a non-ohmic material is always curved. The temperature coefficient of resistance is defined increase and resistance per ohm original resistance per. हमारे पास है degree rise and temperature. Next हमारे पास है for metal the temperature coefficient of resistance is what? Positive. If R1 and if R2 are respectively the filament resistance of 100 watt bulb and 200 watt designed to operate on the same voltage, then the power of what? R1 is 2 times R2. The maximum power transfer theorem states that maximum power is delivered to the load when dash the load resistance is equal to the source resistance. Electron volt is another unit of what? Energy. An electron is moving perpendicular to the magnetic field. Which of the following is correct? Statement about electromagnetic force acting on the electron. Option C, force acting is maximum for a positive charge particle moving with the velocity in a magnetic field of flux density. B, the force acting on the charged particle is given by the expression F is equal to QV multiplied by B. Which of the following statement is true about the magnetic field inside a solenoid? It is along the axis of the coil. 1 meter long copper rod is moving with the speed 20 meter per second and magnetic field of 0.6 Tesla. What is the value of induced EMF? हमारे पास है 12V. Next one, the inductance of a coil depends on what? Number of turns. Next हमारे पास है the direction of induced current is determined by dash. हमारे पास है Lenz's law. The Lenz's law is consistent with dash. हमारे पास law of conservation of energy. The basic principle behind the operation of the transformer is what? Electromagnetic induction. When the PN junction is revised biased, its revised current is of the order of dash. हमारे पास है microamperes. The momentum of moving proton is dash. हमारे पास है H divided by lambda. And every instant of time, wavelength associated with a freely falling body decreases. As per second photoelectric experiment, photoelectric effect does not occur if the frequency of the incident light is below the threshold frequency. If an electron and the hydrogen atom jump from second to first orbit, the emitted radiation has a wavelength of what? 4 divided by 3 RH. Next, black body is an ideal radiator that radiate dash equally. Mass number refer to what? Number of neutrons. Next, हमारे पास lambda is equal to what? Decay constant. Gamma ray camera can observe radiation from dash isotopes that are concentrated in the organs. Now let's talk about English. A person who sell goods and services dash what? Vendor. The detective noticed a subtitle change in the suspect's tone when he asked about her whereabouts on the night of the crime, which hinted at something more significant. What does subtitle most likely mean? So this option is D, slight. Despite the complicated situation, she remained calmly assessing her options before deciding. Fill in the blanks with appropriate choice. So we have composed. Find out synonyms of elated. So हमारे पास है overjoyed. Choose the sentence with the correct tense and sentence structure. So हमारे पास है they were playing football when it started to rain. Next, choose the correct sentence. Choose the correct answer. So we have my father was talking to his friend on mobile phone when I fell from the bicycle. Next, choose the correct answer. Choose the correct sentence. हमारे पास she didn't know about the surprise party. Next, after the stare her heart almost gave out from exhaustion. आप हम यहाँ पे देखें तो हमारे पास क्या है? After the stares her heart almost gave out from exertions. So he has option C, yani had claimed. Next, punctuate the given sentence correctly. The teacher asked, did you complete your homework? हमारे पास है the teacher asked, did you complete your homework? Option B. Next one, punctuate the following sentence correctly. Let's meet at Sarah's house after school. Let's meet at Sarah's house after school. Do you usually take a bus? The market so आता है 2. Next, he has been working on this project for 2. Identify the sentence that contains an error and word order and style or vocabulary. So she enjoys reading, writing, and to a point. Then identify the error in the sentence. The ship quickly prepared delicious and it served a meal. So हमारे पास है word order. Order of the law of civilization is choco is the law of the most appropriate word to fill in is word. हमारे पास है wilderness. Blueprint is to architect and algorithm is to word programmer. Regular exercise has been shown to improve overall health by reducing the risk of chronic diseases such as heart disease and diabetes. Additionally, exercise enhances mental well-being by reducing stress, anxiety, and depression. Despite these benefits, many people find it challenging to maintain a constant exercise routine due to busy schedules and lack of motivation. Based on the paragraph, which of the following statement can be inferred? So, busy schedule and lack of motivations are barriers to regular exercise. Next, हमारे पास which of the following word is a synonym for meticulous? So we have precise. Next, find out logical reasoning. Find out the missing term and the sequence. 15, 14, 12, 9, 5. All omnivores are herbivores. No herbivores are carnivores. Some carnivores are humans. Which of the following conclusions are true? So हमारे पास है 1 and 2. read the following statement and identify the best cause and effect relation. So हमारे पास क्या है? The ongoing construction work is causing Sarah's decreased productivity. Next, a store offers a 10% discount on all items. After applying the discount, the price of an item is 450. What was the original price of the item? तो हमारे पास है 500. I went 10 meter to the east from my house, then turned north and walked another 15 meters. Then I turned west and covered 12 meters, and then turned south and covered 15 meters. How far am I from my house? So 2 meters. Next, F, A, B, B, C and D, and then dash. So B greater than D is the correct answer. That's it.